Hi, in this video I'm going to tell you why I want you to spend a bit less money and go for a smaller water feature if that's what you'd like. There is an advantage to not going too high in terms of a water feature. In this drawing you're looking head on at a water feature from your lawn, and can you see the sides of the sloping soil up to the rocks is very severe. The angle is very severe, and that looks incongruous like a volcano in most English back gardens. The reason for that is the height. In that example is a 60 centimetre high waterfall, and you can see it's a very severe soil slope. The only way around that would be for me to take the soil at a gentler angle much further out and spread it out really far. Now, if we keep it to about under knee height, about 30 centimetres, which is average for our water features, it's not only highly stable, much easier to maintain and plant, it's in keeping with the garden. You need a lot less rock and soil and labour, so of course it's, a lower price. But the most important point there is you can have a nice, gently sloping soil berm, we call it, from the lawn or the soil around up to the rocks, and this is what gives that natural effect. When you go too high, it often ends up looking a bit theme parkish if you're not careful. It's obviously a lot more expensive. I mean, by all means, bring on the big jobs, I'm all for those, but I'm just trying to get across, you don't necessarily need height for a gorgeous looking water feature. In my opinion, the best water features out there are around about knee height max. The biggest waterfall builders in the world are Aquascape of America. You can see their videos online on YouTube, and they relentlessly go on about do it to knee height. That's how you get a natural look, rather than this anthill emerging out of your lawn like, some sort of volcanic eruption. Get my teeth in. So yeah, in this example you can see the soil either side of the rocks extends around about 3 or 4 feet, which is still going to be a big footprint to get that nice natural look. If you imagine we went to 45 centimetres or 1.5 feet, to get the same gentle soil slope, we've now got to extend that soil out further from the rocks. You could be looking at 150 centimetres either side of the rocks. It's a long way for it to look as natural as possible. We can do it in a smaller space, we often have, but I'm just saying if you've got the choice, it's always better to go for a modest height relative to the garden, how it looks in terms of the existing aesthetics, and then go for a nice gentle soil berm. Of course, if you've got a large space, or you've even got an existing garden with slopes, or lots of undulation, then a higher waterfall can look in keeping, but it still always can be a larger construction project to get it higher. If it's not possible to build within a certain space in this manner with a gentle sloping berm, then what we do is build a concrete wall behind the waterfall and help that contain the soil within a smaller space, but it still doesn't look quite as natural, and obviously can get expensive when we're starting to talk about building walls and such like. So yeah, all in all, the message here is height is not everything when it comes to water features. It really isn't. I know you'll see pictures online, in magazines, but they're often doctored and you often can't tell that they look a bit theme parkish and incongruous in real life. Think about your own garden. And one last thought is, even if it was 30 centimetres, which sounds not much, trust me, when you get the rocks on there and the plants and the water flowing, it looks higher than you might imagine. And again, to me, I'd much rather have a shorter, more natural stream-like water feature than something that looks like, it's perhaps been plopped onto the lawn. Oh, one more thought. Think about the finished product. If you do want height, that's going to require a lot of rock. I want you to really try and visualise all of that rock in your space. Do you think that will look right for your space? A 2 foot high water feature will require many tons of rocks, and it can sometimes look a little bit overwhelming in smaller spaces. Anyway, happy dreaming about your upcoming water feature.